Hello students. Under financial management, till now I have discussed with you the meaning of financial management, definition of financial management, functions of financial management. Then at the end I have discussed you what are the scope of financial management, under that traditional approach and modern approach. Traditional approach also I have discussed with you, and modern approach have just started with the first decision, that is financing decisions. Under modern approach there are three decisions. They are financing decision, investment decision, and dividend policy decision. Under that first decision, that is financing decision, I have already discussed with you in the last recorded video. Now today I am going to discuss here investment decision, that is a second decision under modern approach of financial management. Under investment decisions there are several functional areas. You can see here there are functional areas which are listed here. These decisions pertain to the following functional areas. So these are the functional areas. One is cash management, working capital management, capital budgeting, portfolio management, risk management, evaluation of performance through benchmarking. So these are the several functional areas where the financial management is concentrating on. Let us see one by one what are these management, what is cash, what is working capital, what is capital, portfolio, risk and evaluation. Let us see the first one, that is cash management. Cash, you know the meaning of cash. Cash is a liquid asset which is needed to make the payment. Okay, so cash plays a very important role. Of all of the form of the asset, cash is a strange item. Cash, we can say it is a strange item without which we cannot manage the business, we cannot run the business. So cash is essential. At the same time, it is a strange item. It does not bring any return. If that is why it is called an idle asset. It means if you keep a cash with you, it does not bring any return. For example, you have rupees 20 in your purse and you have kept it on the beginning of this week. At the end of this week, if you check your pocket, it will be only rupees 20. It will not grow. Okay, so if you does not invest, if you don't invest somewhere else, you will not get any return. The whatever the cash you have kept, it will be in the same amount. That is why it is called an idle asset. If you keep it with you, it is not going to grow. If you invest, if you make as payments, or you invest in some of the avenues, then you will get the return. However, it is necessary to make payment. However, if you don't keep cash with you, you will not be able to make the payment. So cash is essential. You need to keep the cash also, but it should not be more. If you keep more, then it becomes an idle. Making timely payment enhance the image of the corporate, which will help in getting better terms in terms of the suppliers and others. So you can get a better terms from the suppliers, those who supply the goods, and from others. Therefore, managing cash calls for ingenuity on part of the finance manager. He has to walk on the tight rope between maintaining sufficient liquidity and not sacrificing the profitability. So what happens is, they have to maintain a balance between the profitability and liquidity. If they keep more cash, if suppose if they need to make the payment for today rupees 10,000, okay, like general expenses, salary, wages, etc., they need rupees 10,000 today to make the payment, but they in their organization they have kept 12,000 rupees. So they will be using only 10. So 2000 what extra they have kept, it becomes an idle. Because if they would have invested somewhere else, they would have got a return for that. And they have lost those return. So there is a loss of profitability. Okay. So when there is a excess cash, if you keep, the liquidity will increase but the profitability will decrease. But if you keep shortage of cash, if you keep less cash, what happens is you may not be able to make the payment. So your liquidity will be affected. Your liquidity is affected. You will not be able to make the payment on time. At the same time, your profitability is also affected. Okay, so the organization has to maintain a proper balance between how much cash between profitability and liquidity. So he has to walk on the tightrope between maintaining sufficient liquidity and not sacrificing the profitability. The next one is working capital management. You know what is working capital management? Working capital management is the cash required to meet day-to-day expenses. Okay, so components of working capital other than cash also involve serious concern of financial management. Management of bills receivable. Working capital includes the short term, okay, current assets and current liabilities. So management of bills receivable, stock management, short term investment of surplus funds, all are the important aspects of financial management. They need stock to run the organization, they need inventory to run the organization, they need bills receivable if they are making selling the goods on credit, they need short term investment. So all these are important. How to manage it, how much stock should be kept, how much bills receivable should be maintained, how much loans should be granted or invested, all those decisions can be taken with the help of the financial management. Like cash, it is necessary to carry debtors inventory. At the same time, carrying too much will drag the profit of the corporates. So too much should not be there. There should not be too much and there should not be too less also. So it should be a optimum. Now how to maintain this optimum? This optimum can be maintained through the help of the financial management, that is through various techniques of financial management. The financial manager must take a fine balance between the need of these assets, economizing the sizes, the need of these assets, how much asset they need, and the exact amount of that asset should be kept, not more and not less. So fine balance should be maintained. The third one under investment decision is capital budgeting. Capital budgeting provides the necessary tool to evaluate long-term investment like purchase of fixed asset, expanding capacity, buying or taking over other companies. Capital budgeting, the meaning is investment towards long-term assets where the benefits will be spread for the long period of time, like investment of fixed assets, expanding capacity, buying or taking over other companies. These are huge investment, okay, where the benefit will not be received immediately but in the subsequent years, and that is for the long period of time. Long-term investment are more complicated and significant as they have long-lasting impact for the company. They will have a long-lasting impact for the company. For the industries like heavy engineering, civil aviation, shipbuilding, power project, providing cellular services, petrochemical limiters, all these are the heavy industries. It means they need a huge capital for fixed assets like machineries, furniture, buildings, etc. For them, they have to plan in advance from where they can get those assets at a cheaper cost. Okay, because if sometimes what happens is if you purchase a machinery, then it becomes outdated. So it is a loss for the concern. The life of the asset may be 20 years, 30 years, and if you are using only for 5 years and disposing of, then it becomes a loss to the company. So that they have to update themselves, they have to go for the recent technology and install. And while installing also, they have to keep in account the cost, return, etc. So all these decision can be taken with the help of the financial management. Next we will see portfolio management. Portfolio management means portfolio is a group of investment, like investment made through to various avenues. Like if they have 1 lakh rupees, 10,000 for equity, 10,000 for preference shares, 40,000 for debentures, then remaining 40,000 for bonds. So all the total together we call it as portfolio. So portfolio plays very important role in the organization because the excess money has to be invested. These excess money has to be invested to various sources. Okay, so they cannot invest in one source or one market, capital market or money market. They go for different avenues. So if there is a loss in one avenue, they can shift or make up the profit from another avenues. So they have to plan in advance what should be their portfolio. So well established corporates and many new generation companies like software companies operate with a high profit margin. Their profit of margin will be very high. So that's what they have to plan in advance, how much they should invest in which areas and which avenue. Even if the margin is low, the huge volume of business they have garnered enables them to dominate the market and enjoy the huge cash surplus. The financial manager enjoys a huge cash surplus, and these surplus funds are invested in money market and capital market securities. To do this, the finance manager has to design a portfolio based upon the investment objectives of the firm. Besides, he should also be churning the portfolio, that is, selling the securities and investing the funds in other markets based on the movement in the market and changing perception of the market. So churning means they always keep on changing in the sense buying in the one market, selling in the another market, buying, selling, all these process will to take place. There will be investment manager wherein he will be guiding the organization to when to sell, when to buy, when to turn over their investment, etc. So these will help the organization to go for the huge profit, and huge cash surplus will again generate an income for them, and again they will be investing. Okay, so for this, the churning of portfolio or designing the portfolio is very important, and this can be done through the help of the financial management. Risk management. The next one is risk management. The finance manager must also take the necessary measure to manage the risk arising from the investment made in corporate securities and in the foreign market exchange. See, risk is a part of the organization. Risk and return goes together. They are called as cousins. When you take more risk, means you will get more return. But it should not cross the limit. Okay? But every organization strive its best so that the risk is less and the return is more. To make those decisions, the finance manager has to take the help of the financial management, where if they are going for investment in foreign market or foreign investment, they have to manage what should be their how much they are able to take up the risk. So if they take up the risk, what should be the return? So this can be done through various derivative markets, gold, silver market, then there's foreign exchange market, then currency market. These insulate a high risk for the purchase and sale of securities. Where the firm is either an exporter or importer, it is necessary to take forward cover in the foreign exchange market. See, if there is an import and export business, foreign business takes place, where there will be a exchange of currencies from their currencies to Indian currencies. At that, exchange rate will be there. So these are fluctuating. So they can go for a forward contract with them and avoid those risks. So the risk can be avoided, but proper decision has to be taken at a proper time so that the risk can be avoided and profit can be increases. This is done to avoid losses arising from the adverse movement in the values of relevant currency in the foreign exchange market. This function has become important to textile industry, engineering industry, gems and jewelry industry, and software and consultancy firms. Even for the other industries importing equipment from the foreign countries, these functions become significant. So if you import this from the foreign countries, this become very important because there is exchange of currencies, as I've told you, textile industries, gems and all jewelry industry. Jewelry is always highly fluctuating, so they have to go for forward market and fix the price in advance so that the difference in price will be a profit for them. So risk is a part and part of the organization, so they have to manage it properly. There are various tools, techniques available wherein they can have a control over the risk, and the return can be increased. The next last point under the investment decision is evaluation of performance through benchmarking. At the end, the performance has to be measured. The performance are measured through sales, profit and loss account, and gross profit. Then the benchmark will be set. Benchmark means how much should be their target profit. If they have not achieved those profit, then the proper decisions has to be taken. Why it has not reached to that extent? What is the reason for that? And proper action can be taken against those. So the benchmarking is nothing but the standard fixed to achieve something. If it is not able to achieve, then they find out the loopholes and find out the reasons why it is not being achieved to that extent, and make corrections over there, or improve themselves, and then reach up to the target. That is called as benchmarking. So benchmark is important for the foreign funding agencies. It is, if the firm is in the habit of raising from US and European market, this is a function or is an important to satisfy certain agencies. So what happens is, if you go for the foreign market to raise the funds like US market and all, they ask your performance and benchmark performance, and they just observe whether you are able to reach it or not, whether you are not able, or whether you have marked that level, etc. If you have marked, means they are able to, they will be ready to provide you funds, etc. So these will be helpful for the organization. So today we have discussed about the investment decisions under financial management, that is modern approach. We have discussed all the three, that is cash management, working capital management, then portfolio management, then risk management, and evaluation of performance through benchmarking. So these are the several functional areas under investment decision of a financial management. Now one more decision is remaining, that is dividend decision, that I am going to discuss you in the next recorded video. I will be sending you next recorded video of dividend decisions. So we have completed here two decisions, that is financing decision and investment decision. Thank you.